I'm Macky Gray. I'm the program coordinator at Orangeburg Calhoun Technical College for Mechatronics. Um, and Mechatronics is a fairly new program. Some of the other programs you'll hear about, kind of industrial maintenance, is instrumentation um, and IET, industrial electronics. So those have been around for quite a while, but Mechatronics has been around for 11 or 12 years, so it's kind of a new thing. And we're still kind of getting it going here. Um, Kind of an overview of the program. Again, the students that graduate from here are going to be like technicians that go out in the field and work on things and repair things typically. Sometimes engineering type technicians, but normally maintenance technicians that work inside of a plant. Okay. Um, so mechatronics technology here, you can see some robotics. That's really the emphasis. It's actually kind of a spin-off of some of the other programs. Actually, if you go to other colleges, sometimes instrumentation, industrial electrical, and mechatronics are kind of all jumbled into one. So we've kind of specialized those and broke them out into their own programs, basically. But to start with, the students will come in and they'll learn some gen eds, some English, some math, some basic industrial skills, how to climb a ladder, how to use a crane, some things that come to mind. How to, wear a harness, just wearing like safety glasses and a hard hat and safety shoes, and just learning about some of those kinds of things. Just some of the basics. We start out with just a real basic building blocks. Basically, someone that really knows nothing about working inside of an industrial plant. And if I do back up, I myself have worked out in industry in various roles for over 20 years. So, and we have some really good experience at Orangeburg Tech in the advanced manufacturing division. And I think that's a really good credit to our division. But some of the basic building blocks also, we're just learning about circuits. Again, taking someone that really knows nothing about electricity or electronics and building them up from that. Or virtually nothing, let's say. So AC, DC circuits, that kind of thing. I think I already mentioned you're going to have some gen ed, you're going to have some English and math. So, some good technical communication type skills that you need. Some of the other building blocks, this is something else that I teach, is like pneumatics and hydraulics. Some of the students have had some experience with this, maybe just like working with an air compressor in their garage, or maybe working on a project with their dad or their uncle or something like that. But yeah, so we expand on that into more of an industrial type of pneumatics and hydraulics. Okay. Again, the focus here is really on robotics. So there's an introduction to robotics. There's actually AMT 105 or either EGR 130. And this is also a class that's taught in some vocational centers and some high schools. So it's really, I say it's kind of like the introduction to robotics, or level 1 robotics. Okay. Now, it's the next step up would be more like industrial robotics. So these are our KUKA robots. These are more robotics like you would see in an industrial plant. Like if you went to Volvo, for example, in Somerville, you would see KUKA robots out there putting cars together. Okay, welding, building, painting, all kind of stuff. So with this KUKA robots, once the students go through my class, they actually take a certificate exam from KUKA. So they actually get a separate certificate from OCtech. So it's an exam that I don't even really know what's going to be on it. So I just have to prepare the students by going through all the material. So that's kind of neat. They actually get 2 certificates. They get one from KUKA, in addition to hopefully their associate's degree. The other one is Universal Robot. So this is a new lab that we've started. We bought this equipment. These are they're called Universal Robots, but they're actually cobots. They're collaborative robots. So you can see by comparison, the KUKA robot, we kind of joke and we say that's like a cage fighter. It has lots of power. It can hurt you. So it's inside of a cage. We stay out of there, okay? The collaborative robots don't have quite as much force, but they are designed to work with humans, okay? So one of the things we've done, my seniors and I last year, is we just bought a pool table and set this thing up kind of like a little manufacturing facility. And the robot actually comes in and sets up shots and puts chalk on the cue and all that kind of stuff and plays pool. So that's just something, it's a good little recruiting tool, but it's also a bit of a challenge for the students to learn how to do that because we don't have a real industrial plant that needs to be programmed, okay, from scratch. So that's one of the things there. Now, mechatronics really is supposed to be kind of a multi-craft, some mechanical skills, some skills in electronics. That's kind of where the word comes from. It's a European term, so a lot of people in America aren't really familiar with what mechatronics means. So a lot of times whenever I'm just talking to people in the street, I say it's robotics and automation, automated processes and things like that. But you can see in here, there's some crossover with other programs, like David will talk to you about CAD and CAM and some of that. There's control circuits, which myself and my program, instrumentation and IET also, they all take the control circuits and stuff. So there are some crossover here, but we just specialize more in the robotics type stuff. So since I've spent a lot of time in industry, I like to take the students on a tour. That's kind of a way to bridge the gap between the college and industry, because ultimately we're trying to help students. We want good job placement. And so they can go out, tour, they can shake the manager's hand, meet human resources. And sometimes it's kind of an impromptu interview. So that's something we try to do. This is I think it was last year, we went to Continental Tire. I took a group, and that might have been 2 years ago. And then this last year we went to Michelin as well. So plants like that, there's a high demand for people with these students with these types of skills that can go in and be employees. And so anyway, that's how we kind of bridge those gaps. Another thing that's kind of interesting is somewhere like Michelin, they're starting to have a lot of turnover. So they're having lots of job openings. So I have a couple of students here that are interested in going, and then some of the other ones are looking at different industry. There's plenty of jobs out there for sure. They're just looking for students that have good work ethic and know what they're doing, or at least have a good foundation. Any plant is going to take students that have graduated and give them more specific training for what they need. Back in the lab, this is something I do with my seniors the last semester. This is like a miniature assembly line. We have this, it kind of starts on this end and the parts go down. There's a robot in here that assembles some parts, and then it goes out to like a distribution center. So it's a miniature plant. So I bring my students in and I teach them how it's supposed to operate, let them operate it for a while. And then I start to put bugs in it, just things I've learned from working out in industry. So I basically break it and they have to fix it. Most of my students are going to be working in a plant like this where there's an assembly line, things are being put together, right? But I don't really know where they're going to work. So we also try to give them some exposure to some process stuff. So this is a process trainer as well. And it would be like maybe like a chemical plant or something like that, where you actually have tanks and things that need to be mixed together and stuff. It's a different animal, but some of the stuff crosses over from the mechanical line trainer to the process trainer, okay? And but ultimately, and this is a picture of BMW in Greenville. I have one student that has gone there, and you can see the KUKA robots are putting the car together, and there's tons of robots. So they really need someone who's trained and skilled in that type and efficient in working on that type of stuff.